Yo, what's up? It's your favorite Samoan Barkeep here. I'm drinking every bottle on the bar. Tonight, 2-for-1 special. We got the Derby Town and the Mellwood. Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. I'm Tolly, your favorite Samoan Barkeep. I'm drinking every bottle on the bar. Tonight, we got a couple from Pursuit United, part of their Mellwood Legacy Collection. So, we're doing the Mellwood and the Derby Town. So, the story behind this Legacy Collection is Pursuit's reviving some old brands. I believe the Mellwood brand was actually distilled in the location where Pursuit is now doing their distilling. And then Derby Town was also associated with that same distillery, like either pre-prohibition or post-prohibition. So anyways, it's in the same building. So Pursuit wanted to, bring back these old labels. So you got the Derby Town, which is the 7-year higher proof. That's barrel proof, coming in at 61.4%, 122.8 proof. And then the Mellwood is the Bottled-in-Bond. It's 100 proof. Let's see here. No age statement on that one. So we got a 7-year barrel proof and then a Bottled-in-Bond Mellwood. So, and just to confuse you even more, they're all part of the Mellwood Legacy Collection. But this is the Mellwood Bottled-in-Bond, and then this is the Derby Town barrel proof. So there you go. While I get these two poured up, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know how much it helps the channel. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think about Pursuit United, Pursuit Spirits. To be honest, I don't have a lot of experience with their stuff. But one of my buddies, Cody, did a bottle your own from there, and it ended up being amazing. Let me rephrase that. I don't know if it was a bottle your own or if he was just part of a barrel pick team, but he has a Pursuit bottle from there. Freaking banger. So I'm definitely interested in getting some more Pursuit. We don't see them out here very often, so I'd have to order them online, and there's 9,000 things on my list to try, so I'll get to it eventually. But in the meantime, I was able to grab these. So Derby Town and Mellwood. The Mellwood was I think $40, and then the Derby Town was like $55 or $60 plus tax, and then my buddy brought them from Kentucky, so I believe they're only available there at the distillery, but I could be wrong about that. Let's start off with the 100 proofer, the Mellwood. Prototypical kind of nose. You get oak, you get some sweetness. A little bit of cinnamon on that. Yeah, it's very light, so, 100 proof. Not a lot on the nose that's really super complex, but let's give it a try. So the problem with having so many bottles, a lot of times when I try these, I try them at bottle shares. And when you're trying to talk about how good a bottle is when you're drinking 90 other things, everything gets blurred together, and it's hard to kind of remember what was good and what was bad. My first time trying this, I was not super impressed, but that same night we tried Calumet 18, Parker's Heritage, the Heavy Char Wheat, Evan Williams 23, so when you're comparing something like this, which is probably a sub 5-year Bottled-in-Bond, to a 23-year-old Legacy, probably not fair to be drinking those on the same night. But having said that, let's see how it is. This is my first taste of anything today, so let's see. Okay, so that's good. Not really complex. A little bit thin on the mouthfeel. But you do get a lot of oak for what I'm assuming is a pretty young product. You do get a nice oak profile on that. Get a little bit of sweetness. The cinnamon that I was getting on the nose doesn't come through on the palate, but it does still have that same kind of weird bitterness. It's not the oak that's bitter. It's more like I don't know how to describe it. It tastes kind of like a bitter, like a tobacco. It's just not really my jam. So initially it tastes good, but then it has this real bitter kind of tobacco on the finish, which I'm not a huge fan of. So it's funny, that was the same kind of comment that I had the night when we first tried this. So kind of remained the same for me. Still has kind of a weird bitter aftertaste that I do not like at all. Yeah, up front I like it, but then a bitter tobacco, leather tobacco bitterness, not my thing. Oh, anyways, I think the people that tried that with me the first night were split. I think half people liked it, half people didn't. So it could be hit or miss on the Mellwood. All right, well, now let's get into the Derby Town. So once again, this is a barrel proof 7-year-old coming in at 122 point something proof. Let's check it out. Lots more oak on the nose. Definitely smells older than that one. I'm getting some baking spice on the nose. Not as sweet as the first one. I like that nose. Let's try it out. That is delicious. It turns out to be a little sweeter than it gives away on the nose. Pretty sweet on the initial first part of the palate. But then you get a nice oakiness at the end. It doesn't have that bitterness of the first one. It has a little bit more viscous of a mouthfeel, but it's not crazy. But you do get a little bit more coating there in the mouth, which is nice. The proof gives it a nice little bump up. It's not too overpowering, but it does, let you know that you're drinking whiskey. Yeah, get a little bit of nuttiness. Reminds me more of the bean nuttiness, kind of the peanut shells on the floor type nuttiness. Not a lot, like just a touch, but yeah. Man, I like that. So if I had to choose between these two, I would go with the Derby Town. It's a little bit more expensive, but for my palate, it's a lot better. On the Mellwood, it's got that weird tobacco leather note. If you like that, you might love this one. So, if you're in the area, Pursuit, definitely check these out. They have a third one in this collection. I think it's called the Old Anvil. I wasn't able to get one of those yet, but I'm definitely on the market looking for one of those. I've heard great things about that one. It's a little pricey though. So these are only 375 milliliters. So when I'm telling you these prices, that means if you had a full bottle, then these are upwards of $80 to $100 a bottle. So not the best price, but tasty for me. Not so much for this one. All right, well, there you go. The Mellwood Legacy Collection, the Mellwood and the Derby Town. There you go. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good one. Cheers. Yeah, I like that one.